Alright, welcome back ladies and gentlemen to the Chupacabra Tutorials channel. I'm your host Larry, and today I'm going to be showing you how to connect your PlayStation 5 controller to Steam so you can use it for all of your favorite games. I'm going to be showing you how to connect it to Bluetooth, although you can just plug it into your computer. It works just fine. And I'll also show you how to make sure that you get all of the full support out of this controller for games that actually support PlayStation 5 controllers, because the haptic feedback on this is absolutely fantastic. So the first thing we want to do is connect this controller to our Windows PC. So to do that, we're going to open up the Bluetooth and Devices window. We're going to press the PlayStation logo button and the pill-shaped button in the upper left corner of the touchpad. Press and hold both of those until the light ring on the front begins to flash and do a disco party. Once it does that, you can click Add Device here at the top, and then in this pop-up, click Bluetooth, and then Wireless Controller here at the top should become available. Just go ahead and give that a click, and then click Done. And then you should be able to, see this show up properly on your computer. I mean, it's right here, so hopefully it's behaving itself. If not, and you find a lot of problems trying to disconnect and reconnect this controller, there is a little hole on the back to the right of the Sony label. So it's a circular hole. There's actually a reset button in there. Press and hold like a pin in there for a count of 12. It'll factory reset your controller, and that sometimes fixes some connection issues. We're going to close that connection, and then inside of Steam, we're going to go to the upper left corner, click the Steam logo, and then we're going to click Settings. Then once we're inside of Settings, we're going to go down to the bottom in the sidebar, and we're going to click Controller. And for right now, you have the option to change the name of your controller here at the top. You can check the diagnostics for test device inputs down here. And for the most part, you should be good to go. You don't really need to worry about a lot of the other settings, which is why Steam has since hidden a lot of them behind the Pair and Manage button. This is where all the more advanced settings tends to hide, is in here, and down here under Calibration and Advanced Settings under Open. The main thing to keep in mind here is this one setting here that's a little pull down that says PlayStation Controller Support. Now what this does is, enabled in games without support means that Steam is going to double check whenever you launch a game and see if it supports your controller. If you're playing a game that doesn't know and has never heard of a PlayStation controller before, Steam will step in, take control of all of the controls, and it'll translate everything on your controller into an Xbox controller from the original PlayStation controller. That way it makes sure that you can always play your games with your favorite controller. However, if it detects that the game you're playing, like in Shrouded, for example, you can see that in the background here. If it does have full support for your controller, it'll step back and let it do its thing. No worries. Now, the other two settings are, you can make sure that Steam never takes control of the controller, so this only works for games with proper controller support. Sometimes Steam can't actually tell if there's controller support and tries to get in the way. If you know that it has proper controller support, you can manually turn it off by clicking Not Enabled. And vice versa. If you always want this controller to function as an Xbox controller, you just happen to have a PlayStation controller and you don't want to spend the money on a different controller, you can just click Enabled, and now this will always act as if this is an Xbox controller. And as you can see in my library in the background, now as I click Enabled, it's now treating this controller as if it's not normally properly supported, and it's going to treat it like an Xbox controller from hereafter. There's a couple other settings in here. I feel like most of these are pretty self-explanatory. Guide button just means home button, and when you click the home button, when it says focuses Steam, it means it's going to either open up the Steam overlay or it's going to open up Steam picture mode, big picture mode, if that's currently turned on. I don't use that feature a lot, so I don't turn it on or off, but you can turn it off if you don't like it. You can also turn off, controller turns off when you exit big picture mode. Again, I don't like big picture mode, so I always leave that off, but the choice is yours. You can also set the idle shutdown time of your controller to go to sleep and stuff like that. You can also change the layout for the keys and the controls of the controller when you're in desktop layout. And they've got some other controls for custom layouts inside of this panel that you can play around with and look up how to tweak on your own. But do note that for you to use custom button layouts with your controller, Steam needs to take full control of it and pretend it's an Xbox controller. So just be forewarned. And that's it. That's how you use your PlayStation 5 controller on Steam. For the most part, it should default to enabled in games without support, and you don't really need to tweak anything. I might make sure if you don't use it very often that all the buttons work correctly with the test inputs button here. Otherwise, you should be good to go. And with that, I've been your host, Larry. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye, everybody, and have a good one.